Hello there. It's Walt here, your live music pro and guitar coach. Hopping on here to do this live stream today. I'm going to share a couple of techniques with you. And also, if you're joining me live and you're here to listen to some music, just let me know in the comments and I'll play some tunes for you. But I wanted to kind of share a story with my experience learning the notes on the guitar. And bear with me, I'm not a great storyteller still. So anyway, so I'd been playing guitar. I started playing guitar at 8 years old. And I'd taken guitar lessons off and on. And, I never learned the notes. I always played by ear, picking up Clapton tunes and different types of tunes, rocking out and playing in garage bands and whatnot. So I think I was like 15 or 16. So I'd been playing, I'd been playing guitar for quite a while. And I had had a guitar teacher, really bass teacher, guy named Jack Radovich here in the Valley in Arizona, where I'm based out of. And we have this great jazz community here in Arizona, and particularly Scottsdale, Phoenix area. There's a gentleman called Jack Radovich who has been really a promoter of the jazz scene and an incredible piano player himself. And way back when he had, I think it was called, Ravenscroft Studios. So there's a guy named Bob Ravenscroft, I think's his name, and he's a great teacher and educator, a great supporter of jazz. And I had taken some lessons with a guy named Jack Radovich, bass player, and then with a great jazz guitar player, Ted Goddard, here in the Valley. And the first thing Jack had me do was, can you play me an F note on the guitar? And of course I couldn't. I didn't even know the notes on the guitar. I knew the open string note names, but I did not know the notes. So that was pretty much an eye-opener, and I couldn't progress any further with him till I got the notes down. So I remember spending hours, memorizing the notes. I would write them down on a piece of paper and just do the natural notes and try to get those things going, being able to memorize those on all the strings. So I thought I would share with you maybe an easier way to do that, although you're just going to have to spend some time working on it to really get your notes down. When you know the notes on the guitar neck, it just opens up all the doors for you to be able to play in different keys and figure out things and be able to improvise. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and show that with you today. And if you're joining me live, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And then if you're watching this later, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll be sure to answer those for you and whatnot. So what I did for learning the notes, the first thing I would suggest you do, you need to learn all the open string note names. So you have the first string E, second string B, third string G, fourth string D, fifth string A, and then the sixth string is an E. Now, that's the fundamental. You need to know that before anything else, man. So you need to get that down if you haven't. And I know for some of you here, this may be pretty fundamental stuff, but bear with me. So in music, there's like a musical alphabet, and it's pretty cool because you're only learning, I think it's 7 notes. You got A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So there's 7 natural notes. Now you have what are called sharps and flats. So if you put a sharp to a natural note, it's going to go up a half step or up 1 fret. Or if you put a flat on a natural note, it's going to go down 1 fret or a half step. So that's something to keep in mind. But before you even deal with sharps or flats, man, if you learn the natural notes on the guitar, and if you think of it more like, oh man, there's only 7 notes I have to learn, which is pretty cool, right? So you've got all these basic, 7 notes. So you can probably find all those notes on the guitar when you do that. And the cool thing is, if you remember this rule, it makes it really easy to find all the notes. So the concept is between the notes B and C and E and F are 1 fret apart or 1/2 step apart. All your other natural notes, such as A to B, C to D, F to G, those are going to be 2 frets apart or a whole step apart. So finding notes gets a little bit easier there, learning the half step, learning where the half step and the whole steps are. And like if you were to look at a piano, those would be, if you look at the white keys and you start from C all the way to C, if you look at those, if you played all white keys, C, D, E, and E, between E and F is no black key, they're right together, and then between B and C there's no black key. So that's the concept. So it's between B and C and E and F are 1 fret apart. All your other natural notes next to each other are going to be 2 frets apart. So, and the cool thing is with the guitar, you have two of the strings are actually the same note names. And we're not going to get in a register with this. Don't worry about register. We're just trying to get the notes down. So where it is notation wise, I wouldn't even sweat that right now. Let's just memorize the notes. So your first string E and your 6th string is an E also. So when you're learning one of your sets, your 1st string or your 6th string, you're actually learning two strings at the same time, which is pretty cool. And that'll be two octaves apart from each other. So, and what I suggest is, and what I did was learn the 6th string and the 5th string first. Get those things down. And then you can add the 4th string and then the 3rd string and then the 2nd string and 1st string. And I'll show you a couple of tricks that you can do that can help you find those notes quicker too. And I do, I know we're in a different world now. It wasn't a digital world when I started to play guitar. So I used to write the notes down on a piece of paper every day in the morning and just do random notes and just pick them all out on the guitar, which helped a lot. But while you're here with me, we're going to go through the 6th string and the 5th string together. So, and it's nice to do the 6th and 5th because a lot of your root notes are here for your chords, to find your chords. So that's why, and it's a really nice visual, you can see stuff. So let's start on the 6th string. So so again, the rule is between B and C and E and F are 1 fret apart. All your other notes that are next to each other, such as A to B, C to D, etc., are going to be 2 frets apart. So you have an open E note on your 6th string. And then if you go up 1 fret would be F. So between B and C and E and F are 1 fret apart. So there's F. And then F to G would be 2 frets apart. So there's G. And then G to A, right, it's going to be 2 frets apart. A to B, 2 frets apart. And then B to C, the rule is between B and C and E and F are going to be 2 frets apart. And then C to D, 2 frets. And then D to E, going going to be 2 frets. And the cool thing is with the frets, right, when the double dots, a lot of you will have double dots on your guitar neck. I don't know if you can see that, but the 12th fret of the guitar neck, everything starts all over again. It's like going up 1 octave. So that's pretty cool that you can do, you know, once you get to the 12th fret, you've gotten all your natural notes down. So again, and just remember the musical alphabet is just A through G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? And then add the other notes. You can put a sharp or a flat on those notes, and you'd go up or down a fret. So again, let's do it we'll do it one more time. So you got E to F, 1 fret, F to G, 2 frets, G to A, 2 frets, A to B, 2 frets, B to C, 2 frets, C to D, 2 frets, then D to E, 2 frets, and then we're really back at E again, E to F, so you can do the same thing all the way up the neck. Now if you were to add like a sharp or a flat, let's go up to A note, E, F, G, A. Let's go to A. It's always a good, nice position to start with, especially when you're starting playing, you know, getting a home base for your guitar playing. When you do, if you add a sharp or a flat to this note, to an A note, if we go A sharp, we would go up a fret or a half step. Or if we were going to go down to A flat, you would go down a fret or down a half step. So that's how you find the other notes, the accidentals they call them. So it could be a sharp or a flat, but for now, you just get the natural notes down. And I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and do the 5th string now. And what we're going to do is the same rule. So the rule is between B and C and E and F are 1 fret apart or a half step. All your other notes next to each other, A to B, C to D, etc., are going to be 2 frets apart. So start with the open string A, and then A to B. So that would be 2 frets apart. So there's A here open, and then we'd have to go 1, 2. That would be B. B to C is going to be 1 fret apart, right? B to C. And then C to D is going to be 2 frets apart, or a whole step, C to D. And then D to E, 2 frets apart. Then E to F, 1 fret or a half step. Then F to G, whole step, 2 frets. And then G to A is going to be 2 frets apart, a whole step. And then when we get to the 12th fret, all your notes start all over again. So A to B, etc., B to C. Same thing with the accidentals, right? If you wanted to go, we'll go all the way to D here on the 5th fret. So you go to D. If you go up a fret, D sharp, or if you go down a fret, will be D flat. So that's how you would figure out the sharps or the flats. But now, for now, you would just get those natural notes down. So the cool thing with this, memorizing your 6th string and your 5th strings will help you find your other notes on your other strings. Now you'll need to do your 4th string as well. Would be good to get that down to do certain things. Because what we're going to do now is some octaves with this. And you can replay this video if you like, or reach out to me, and we can do a quick lesson to go hands-on with that if you would like. So what we're going to do now is we can do what are called octaves. And what this helps you with, if you know your notes on your 6th and 5th strings, and your 4th string too will help you. You know, would be good to get down as well. But for now, I would do your 6th and 5th strings, get those down. So if we were to say we're going to find a note, or let's find an A note on the E string. So we're going to do on the 6th string, E, F, G, A. There's an A note on the 6th string. Now we could find this note on the 4th string really easy, because if you go an octave, which an octave is like is a note higher, like the same note but in pitch higher 1 octave. That's the same note on D, on your D string. So now if you know your A note, you've actually learned your A note on the D string if you look at that real close. So I'm going to see if I can get I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So you got your first finger on the 6th string, and then your 3rd finger is going to be on the 4th string. So just by knowing your 6th string notes, natural notes, and knowing an octave, you're able to get down your other note there for your 6th string. Now, there's another octave too on the G string if you want to get this, and I would not do this right away unless you're ready to go. There's another octave though for this string that is that you can find here behind the 6th string, and it's for the 3rd string. So it's going to be it's going to be 1, 2, 3 frets apart, or really 2 frets. So there's an A note for your 3rd string as well. So if you learn the octaves, that helps you find notes too. You're able to find those notes. And then also, now that you've learned your 6th string, you also got your 1st string down too. That's all done there for you. And to do the same thing for the 5th string, right? So let's do the 5th string. And we're going to do let's do D. Let's stay on the 5th fret. So we're using shapes to be able to find these notes. Eventually you'll hear the notes, and also be able to you'll just intuitively know where to put your fingers if you work with this for a while. So we're going to do the same thing, finding the note strings on the 5th string. We're going to go to D. So A, B, C, D. And then we do another octave. So you're going to skip a string and then skip a fret on the 3rd string now. So there's another D right there on your 3rd string. So now you can figure out your notes on your 3rd string. And then we can do this behind the note. So we're going to skip 2 strings and go behind the note to find the note on the 2nd string. And this time around, the spread to the octaves is only 1 fret, not 2 frets. Like originally on the 6th string, you're going to skip 2 frets. On the next set of strings, you're going to just skip 1 fret. So there's D there, and here's D there. So now you can find a D note on your 2nd string as well. So the big trick is to be able to eventually get these shapes down, the octave shapes, right? And that will help you tremendously be able to find stuff. And then you've got an octave shape here. And then let's do the 4-string, and then we'll be able to cover all of your strings, although we just did, but we can do the front of the fingering and then the back of the fingering. And the cool thing is, we've already got the 1st string down. When we learn the 6th string, we get that 1st string down. So let's do the 4th string. So with this one, let's stay at the 5th fret. So D, remember the rule, B to C, E to F are 1 fret apart. All your other notes next to each other are going to be 2 frets apart. So D to E is 2 frets. E to F is going to be 1 fret. F to G is going to be 2 frets. So we're here at the 5th fret, 4th string, and this is a G note. And here's the octave here. It's spread out 2 frets. So that's because the figuration of between the G string and the D and the B string are a major 3rd apart. They're not a 4th like your other strings next to each other. So you're going to go G. So you have C. Whoops. G. And G would be 2 frets apart on your 2nd string. And then if we go back, we do the note back here, we skip 2 strings, there's your G again. So there's 2 octaves, the same notes, G and G. So really by learning, you focus in on those first 2 strings, 5 and 6, and then your 4th string, you cover all the bases on that. And that's a super helpful way to learn that. And it's not that hard to do. Once you get you understand what you're doing with the octaves in particular, they can really help you out with that. So there you have it for the notes, just finding the natural notes on the guitar. And, you take your time with that, you be patient with it, and over time it gets pretty intuitive to be able to figure that stuff out. Now, if you're watching me live, let me know you're watching live, and if you have any questions on that. And if you don't, well, even if you're watching live, let me know if you're watching live, and I'd like to know where you're coming from, and if there's something I can answer for you, help you out with guitar playing questions, or I may play a couple of tunes today. I'm mainly wanting to share a couple of different techniques with you all today, and I might loop a couple of things. So I'll wait a minute while I see if there's someone here. And if you're watching live or watching on the replay, let me know in the comments what you would like to hear from me, and if you have questions on getting those guitar notes down, let me know, and I can be sure to spend some time with you to figure that out. And if you're looking to up your guitar game, I have a free guitar warm-up course that's really a perfect start for improving your skills. It's quick, effective, and sets you up for success every time you pick up the guitar. And you can get it at primevibemusic/warmup as one word, or you can scan the QR code on the video here, and I'll put the link in the bio as well. And if you're ready to just get after it, you can go to my website, primevibemusic.com, and you can book some time with me there, and we can do some lessons together. And I have a free consult I can do too, if you like, spend about 15-20 minutes, and we can chat and see if I can help you out with stuff. So I would love to meet with you. All right, the other technique I wanted to share was a looping technique. And there are just these incredible loopers out there, people that are looping that are just amazing at what they do. And I've tried for many years to become one of those people doing the beatbox and all that, and it just doesn't work for me. And for the gigs I do, it just doesn't doesn't seem to be the right thing to do for the gigs. So I stopped really trying to do it. And what I found was, for looping for me, was if I have just one loop, just a basic loop, I can actually, be super musical, play a cover tune, or, do whatever, loop for a little bit to warm up and just to get into a tune, like an intro for a tune. And I found it to be super helpful for that. And also, I guess the greatest thing I ever learned for looping, which I never even thought about, was Aaron Short. He's a great YouTuber and does a lot of live streams, on gear, and he's a great musician as well, just a great performer. He talked about one of his looping buddies, that what he does is when he loops, he actually sings the song while he's looping. So he'll start the tune, he'll start the loop when he sings the song. And then when he's done singing, he'll play it and he can improvise over it that way. And I found that to be the coolest thing about looping for myself, is just using a one-track loop and then singing a tune with it. And it actually is quicker for the audience, so you're not having to fumbling around with playing different instruments, to do the loop and whatnot. So it's been the easiest way that I found to really incorporate looping into my live performances. And what I'm going to do today is, I'm not even going to do a cover tune. I'm just going to loop a little bit, because I want to use this live to make into some shorts on my YouTube channel. And if I do like copyrighted material or cover tunes, a lot of times I can't cut them up natively into shorts into YouTube. I can use another app or whatever, but I don't feel like doing that. I kind of want to go natively with stuff. So I'm going to loop a couple of tunes, and I'll play a couple of songs for you as well. And I guess I should show you. Let me show you my little loop, my piece of gear, and I've shared this a few times. Bear with me. This is a little wonky. I'm a little jittery with this camera here. So I'm using this Headrush Flex Prime pedal, and I have the Headrush Prime pedal as well, which is a much bigger pedal, but I'm really digging this pedal. I will say it's a little challenging at times with looping, because I have to do a little bit more moves, but overall it's a pretty good little pedal. So when I'm looping with this, so I have like an effect, it's a multi-effects unit as well. So I can, I'm doing my guitar effects through this unit, and it covers all the bases, and it's great for, I know I had someone post on one of my videos, they were asking about this being good for acoustic guitar, and it is. It's works great for me, so I'm happy with it. And also the looping function is cool because it's like 5 minutes, which is way more than I will ever use on this device. And the concept with it is, see if I can do this without, I'm having to do a couple of extra moves with this that I don't like, but to get out of the loop function, here's the effect pedal there. And let's see here. So you can I can turn on 2 effects at the same time if I want, and control them from there and whatnot. So to get out, actually 3 effects. To get out of that, this turns on an effect, and to get out, if I hold the button down, I've got a looper that gets me into the loop function. Then to record the loop, I press the middle button, and then I can press it again to start the loop. Will start playing and whatnot. And then if I want to stop the loop, is over here. And then I can peel that. I can actually delete. Whoops. I got to go back to. These are the things that I struggle with this. But overall, I just use it just for that basic loop. I can do one thing at a, one loop at a time. So let me check some comments here. I see we've got someone here. So hey, Walt, I just set up an appointment with you for Saturday. That's awesome, man. Nice to catch your live feed. I dig that. That's great. And I'd love to I can't wait to meet you, man. So I'm revamping my solo rig and interested in your experience with the Headrush pedal as well as the band and box tracks. Man, yep. Just yep, let's do it. Let's get together there. So, and I can get into that. And I've got a couple of videos, so with that too. And I can share with you right now with, some of this if you would like, Grover. So let me know in the comments if you're still here. That's the thing about these lives that are a little frustrating. It's like I'm speaking out in the, I can't see people, and playing. And, tell you the truth, man, I'm kind of an in-person type of guy doing gigs or whatever. So looks like Grover. Yep. You're welcome, Grover. And we can, with your appointment, go over that if you like. We'll definitely get into that with you and whatnot. And like I said, there's a couple of videos I do. I get into depth with that if that helps you out. Yep. Yes, I love it. Cool. I like your playing style. Yeah, I appreciate that, Grover. So should I, what do you want me to do? Since you're here, you're live, what would you like me to share with you right now? Your signal is clear. Cool. Yeah. How about if I do a behind the scenes of what I'm doing today for you and other musicians, guitar players that are wanting to do this, man? So are you up to that, Grover? I can show you my whole setup behind the scenes here for my live stream. So I got no secrets. I'm going to go ahead and just start sharing this, and then we'll take it from there. We can improvise here. So what's happening, right? So I've got my guitar signal coming into this Headrush, pedal, the Prime, and I'm putting my signal into a Bose Gigcaster 8, and I have my mic hooked up into that, and I use the effects within that for my Gigcaster 8. So it's a really basic setup, and then the Gigcaster 8 is hooked up to my computer. I'm using like a laptop 13-inch. It's a pretty old, it's like the first version of the silicon chip or whatever that Apple did. It's 13-inch, and then I have a 27-inch monitor that one of my guitar teachers, Caitlin Caggiano, kind of turned me on to. So she helped a lot with trying to get some sort of setup that worked for me. I'm pretty new to this stuff. And then I've got a couple of lights that I shine on here. Don't know if I really need them or not, but they're there. So the sound, I'm also using like the tracks like I do. Like I've said, I produce those in Band in a Box. And then I have a app that I use on the computer, and also I use this on my live gigs too. It's called Stage Tracks 3, and it's really it's a super great, powerful little tool. And I have been an OnSong person. I used to use OnSong a lot. Let's see if I can get that. I'm not sure what you're seeing on the other, on the screen. But you can put lyrics in it. And then I can do backing tracks with it, which is pretty cool. So those tracks are done. I've done most of those I've been doing this a long time, so some of those tracks were done many years ago, even before Band in a Box, but most of them are Band in a Box. And I think that's it for my signal for today. And then Grover's saying I use the Shure Beta SM58 mic. Yeah, I think I used to use that, and I wish I knew the model. You like your new Shure mic. I love this mic. I'll tell you, it's an upgrade. And I don't know if you really need the model. I can figure it out somewhere. It's somewhere. I'm not very good with models or anything with stuff. This is an upgrade from the 58 in that it has a wider voice. It keeps things more balanced. If you move around, it's a little bit more balanced. Tone is better, and it's, oh my God, it's a great mic. So I have one for the studio here when I'm doing these lives, and I also have one of these I use on my gigs, right? So I just throw it in the gig bag. So I got two of these. And I used to do the lives using, one of those podcaster mics, but I thought, man, I'm a musician. F this, man. Just use what you use live. So let's see. I use Bose Tone Max Mixer and Stage Tracks. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably, that's probably for is that your live streams or you're doing your live gigs? Yep, and you bet with the setup. And just so you know, I can find a mic model. I've looked at it before. That's pretty cool that you can do mic models. Yeah, so that's my setup in live, Grover. I have a really, I think if you saw that video of my live setup, I think you might have. So if you have, I can't find the mic model. I've looked at it everywhere. Live gigs. I'm not sure. Is that the setup for live gigs you want me to do? Let me know in the comments, yes, and I will actually pull out what I'm using if you need that. So most of it I'm using here, but just so you know, this is just my live streaming setup, that GigCast. I don't even take out this GigCaster 8 on a gig. I just literally, I'm doing, right now, I'm using like that new, fairly new Bose S1 Pro Plus, right? It's got the wireless stuff. You can just, they're built into the PA, into that little speaker, and the transmitters go right in there for the mic and the guitar. It's a fantastic little setup. How about if I show that to you for the live setup? And, when I do my gigs, just to do variety, I don't just bring out an acoustic guitar. I actually have them out here. I've got the Strat behind me and then the mandolin. I play a little mandolin too and sing. So I've been at this steady here for 23 years. And I have a captive audience. So I'm having to kind of really mix things up, do a variety of styles of music through a night. So I'm going to get this PA because I'm just I love it so much. So hold on. Not sure how to get this mic cable out. That's cool. I play mandolin. That's great. Yeah, so I use, instead of a mixer on my gig, I use the PA. I just use the speaker I use. The cool thing about the, can you see everything okay and hear me all right? Cool. All right. So the cool thing about this is that how freaking small it is. So it's like, it's only like 12 or 15 pounds, 12 to 14 pounds. But I love that the wireless stuff is built in. and they charge. These things charge right in the right when you plug them back in put them back into the PA. These things charge without the PA even being plugged on. So I really love that about it. Looks like you already have the S1. Yes, you can see. You're fine. Good. And you have that S1 too. Cool. Yeah, and I know it's for a much smaller room than a lot of people probably use, but that's all I've needed. And eventually we'll get another one to run it, you know, if I need to do a satellite speaker somewhere. So I guess that's cool. So you have that. Do you have the initial S1 or do you have the latest upgrade? Because the latest model of this S1 is a huge upgrade. It's huge. So I had the original S1 and I liked it. It was good. But with the new one, you actually have a tone match. You actually have an app. There are two receivers. Okay, you're asking about this. I'm going to get into detail. I'm going to keep talking about this new upgrade. All right, dude. So, Grover, let's get into this is a huge upgrade. Hold on. So there's some amazing stuff about this new unit. Like, yep, like you're asking about, there are two receivers in that. Yes, there are. You don't even need, you don't need any external receivers now. It'll do a guitar and a mandolin, or guitar, mandolin, whatever instrument you want to use, and then a mic. And so I've used many PAs through the years, and just for the sheer versatility and compactness, this is like the perfect working musicians. If you're a solo musician, it's a perfect little speaker. And for most of my gigs, it's really all I've needed. Yeah. Oh man. I think you're saying, I wish you had more people watch. Whatever. So there's a replay. If people want to watch it, they can get it or whatever. So Grover, hopefully, let me keep going with this. So what I found the difference between these two is, the difference between them is, number one, you can control all of this by your phone now with the Bose Connect app, the updated app. And what's cool is, too, you have these settings that are just incredible with it. So the mic settings are pretty simple, and I'm literally going from the PA right into the mic. I don't do a lot of effects. I just put on some reverb, and that's it. So I'm using the reverb within the Bose unit. Now the guitar part, I'm using the Headrush, the Headrush Flex Prime pedal, and I've used the Flex Prime, the small one, and I've done the big one too with it. But I used the Flex pedal, and I'm actually using a cable. Hold on, I'll get it. It's like an instrument Y cable, right? So you've got the two, you got the left and the right. And I'm sure you could actually do, I guess you couldn't do instrument cable. It's kind of an instrument cable. I don't know exactly what you call it, but anyway, do a line. You do the line in to the effects unit and line out. They go into the channel. I put them into the second channel of the PA here. So go in here. And then wirelessly, I just plugged the wireless transmitter into the guitar. and I guess it's an effect loop, so the signal of the guitar goes through the effect unit. So I guess the one thing about that is, right, you do have a cable that you got to plug into the PA with that, but I'm fine with that. But to stay on track with that channel, the coolest thing is you've got these presets, and it is the first PA I have ever used that has, I think it's FR full range flat response setting. So you're literally just you're able to use your pedal to like tweak stuff to do looks like you're into model, you do some modeling and whatnot. So you're able to really tweak your sound. And I found it to be much clearer and cleaner to listen to stuff too. It's been easier to listen to. So I've done the JBL Compact for quite a while. And I did that for a couple of years and I dug it. But, you know, I liked having the extra channel. But with this new speaker, with the new S1, you do have a third line in. You know, it's an auxiliary in, but you can really use it, and it has EQ on it now too. So it's, you know, I was skeptical if I would like this or not, but it's really been the best. They totally changed this thing, man, to where it's really a great investment. And if you're trying to downsize, it's worth it. And then also with that pedal is worth it too. Yeah, your cable is tip ring sleeve, 2 mono lines out. Right, yeah, tip ring sleeve, 2 mono lines out, yeah. Yeah, so I got these at Sweetwater. I did have a hard time finding a long cable, you know, like usually they're 5 feet. I think I could get a 10-foot, but I kind of like to have about 15 to 20 feet so I can, you know, I have my speaker on a speaker stand, so it's a little, it can, you know, I need some length on it. You know, if you're in a bind or whatever, you could do, you know, you could actually run your wireless, you know, use a cable or 2 wireless systems and use one that goes to the effect unit, I guess. So I found that's the one thing about it, like the cable, you know, thing. But if you're just strolling around too, man, I mean, if you don't need effects, you don't really need effects with this thing. It's so good. And the full range flat response is one setting. There are some really nice guitar settings. Like I found a really nice setting for the Ovation guitar too, which that's great. Sounds great. So if I just want to not have the loop available and like some different guitar sounds, it's you know, it's you know, you can't beat it. So cool. I'll look at upgrading to the Pro. That sounds great. Thanks for the setup info. Yeah, you bet, ma'am. I haven't found anything better right now, so. Well, if there's not any other questions with that, that's like, I think I did the live setup and then that. I think I'm going to play a couple of tunes. And I think I'm just going to loop something and just play. I don't even know if we're going to sing anything today. Unless you want me to sing something, let me know in the comments. If not, I'm going to play instrumentally today. And then that way I should be able to just natively use the shorts, you know, cut up some shorts within YouTube to use this live again. So if you're checking this out live, I really appreciate you, man, taking the time, Grover, to be here and hanging out with me, man. That's awesome. And then if you're watching later, let me know in the comments if there's something I can share with you or help you with, or if you got any questions with anything. And I do have a free warm-up course. Info's up here on the video, and I'll put stuff down in the description as well for a free guitar warm-up course, which I think has helped me through the years get better with playing. So with that, I'm gonna stop talking and then I'll say bye. So let me know in the comments if you got something else you want me to share with you, Grover. If not, I'm just gonna play. So, and I always have people ask me about this guitar, so I guess I share this really quick with you. So I got this Ovation, it's an Ovation. I think I'm just gonna blow over a couple of different things for you for a minute, and then I'm out of here. Boy, this tech stuff, man, getting all these mics and stuff set up right. Whew. So. So here's a track from Band on a Box, a little tune. I'm just calling this the YouTube Live Blues today. Oh yeah, so that was the YouTube Live Blues. And hey, thanks for checking out the live today. You guys who have been here live, Grover, I really appreciate all your questions, man. That's awesome. And I look forward to meeting with you. And let's see, you have another question here. Let me read that. Ovation made some great guitars. Thanks for sharing, Walt. Nice licks. Enjoy listening. Your signal is well balanced. I'm very interested in tips and to tweak my band in the box for non-loop tracks. Great. Yeah, we'll get into that with you. I'll show you exactly what I do and stuff. I can share on the screen and stuff. So, hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. And just a reminder, I've got a free guitar warm-up course. And you can get that at primebymusic.com/warmup. As in one word, there's a link. I'll put a link in the description and the comments, and then you got a QR code here too for that. So until the next time, have a great day, everybody. And man, you guitar players, keep playing your guitars.